the building, hosting First Take, filling in for Stephen A. But look, I'm still going to give Max Kellerman that work today. We talking Packers, we talking Donovan Mitchell, we talking Paul George, playoff P, or shall I say pandemic P. Carry the hell on.
Me versus you, it's me versus you.
Can we turn the music up?
Mitchell lays it in. Donovan Mitchell is red hot.
I had to go out there and just set the tone. Can't let our foot off the gas. It's going to be a dogfight game too, and we got to be ready.
Good day. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take. Thank you for being with us on a Wednesday. Max Kellerman.
Who's
I'm
getting
Molly
that work,
Cameron
Bert?
Rose.
Who's getting that
You
work,
are, Max. You heard
Got it
him.
twisted.
He didn't stutter. All cleaned up, ready to
You
go.
getting
I
that
see you,
work.
Big Perk. Looking so fresh and so clean.
What's going on,
Stephen A.
Molly?
has the day off. Yes, good to see you, sir. Thank you
Good
for being
morning
with
to-
us.
Good morning to you.
All right.
Yes, good morning to Molly.
Let-
It would be about to be a bad morning for you. Let's get this started.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Donovan Mitchell. Oh, my God. 45, 3-5, leaving folks salty like it's Salt Lake City. It really is. He has the Jazz defending home court against Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and the Clippers taking a 1-0 series lead. Donovan, talk to me.
Oh, man, I let my team down in the first half on both ends of the floor. You know, I let Reggie and Luke kind of get hot. They were kicking my a little bit. You know, I came in the locker room. I wasn't making the right reads in the first half, so I said, you know what, guys, it's on me. You know, at the end of the day, it's on me, and, you know, I had to go out there and just set the tone, and we did our thing.
I mean, they were playing desperation ball the whole night. You know, we didn't match it until late. But, you know, I think the positive out of it is, you know, we gave ourselves a chance, regardless we gave this one up with a flat third. We still gave ourselves a chance to win this.
Braids are tight. All right, PG-13 didn't do too much, didn't get going until the end there. Let me ask you this, Max. Was this game more about Mitchell or George?
Oh, it was more about Donovan Mitchell. Is this a trick question? The dude who dropped 45? The dude who did not have his crime partner with him in the backcourt? No Mike Conley. He goes out after what he did last year in the bubble in that series against Denver, where he and Jamal Murray went back and forth in one of the all-time great first-round battles ever, history of the sport. Had multiple 40-point games then. He was incredible. Picked up right where he left off. No Mike Conley, no problem. 45 in the win in a game where they were down pretty big at the half, where he didn't do much in the first half, completely takes over the game. And this morning, that game was clearly about Donovan Mitchell.
Well, Max, let me tell you where you're wrong, all right? And we're just getting the show started, okay? The reason that you're wrong is because we already know that Donovan Mitchell could do this. We already know that he could drop 40 in his sleep when it matters the most because of his history, right? This is more about Paul George, okay? Can anybody find Paul George? I remember him going on a podcast, All the Smoke, and saying that people were going to pay. Well, right now, the only person that's paying is Steve Ballmer because we don't know where you are. And here it is right now in the time where it matters the most, when Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers need a Paul George to step up and elevate his game. Where has he been, Max? Think about it. Last series, Game 5, Game 6 against the Mavericks, 6 for 15 from the field. Game 7, 5 for 15 from the field. Last night, 4 for 17 from the field. I mean, if I'm Kawhi Leonard, I'm going to him after the game and say, hey, dog, I need you to step up. I need you to elevate your game. I need you to help me out. I need you to do something offensively. You got to bring something to the table. Look, getting 20 points, that's a norm for anybody that's a star in the league. But Paul George is labeled as a quote-unquote superstar. It's time for him to have one of those 40-plus nights or average 35 or 30 points throughout the course of a series.
Bert, you're a day late and a dollar short. The argument yesterday was who has more to prove. Stephen A. and I debated who has more to prove, and you'd have been right then as I was right then. Paul George had more to prove in this game. But in terms of who is it more about, who's more important, Donovan Mitchell. Paul George is second banana. Paul George is not a superstar. You could call him an all-star plus. He's not a superstar. 1 year, maybe he was top 5-ish MVP 1 year and he got hurt a little bit. And that's not a superstar. He is a real good, we thought, second banana. If he's Robin to Kawhi's Batman, okay, but he's got to show up as Robin at least. Now look, he had a good fourth quarter. The first three, not so much. He had a good fourth quarter, and it wasn't enough. But he's not a superstar, and he's not asked to be one. He's just asked to be the same old all-star plus dude he normally is in the regular season. He's been unable to do that, but that doesn't mean the game's more about him. You mean to tell me the superstar or the guy who's becoming one before our eyes, Donovan Mitchell, doesn't have his backcourt partner, the other guy who can create for teammates, is losing by double digits at the half to the team with Kawhi and Paul George, who just came back down 3-2 to win the series, who have playoff Rondo, who seem to have everything they need? And Donovan Mitchell drops 45. You're trying to tell me it's not about him? Why? Because you expect it already? Because that's the third time he's had over 40 points in a playoff game? Third quickest ever to that number behind Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain? That means that it's not more about him because we just expect him already at his age to be the best player in the game?
No, Max, what we're asking Paul George to elevate his game. And with Mike Conley being out, that makes it even worse because now you can't even go head-to-head with a guy in Donovan Mitchell who's missing his Robin. He's missing Mike Conley, an all-star, a guy that had a phenomenal last series against the Memphis Grizzlies. Like I said before, Max Kellerman, look, Donovan Mitchell showed us last year what he's capable of doing. He showed us last series what he's capable of doing. Right now, the West is wide open. The Clippers are the favorite to win the West. Why? Because they have a dynamic duo in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. We know what Kawhi Leonard is going to do. When is Paul George going to step up to the plate?
Now, there's no argument there. There's no argument. Of course, Paul George has a lot to prove. If you want to say, if the question is, what player needs to step up for their team to get out of the West? Paul George, you could say that before the playoffs started. But I got to be honest, I didn't think Utah was going to win last night. I didn't think they were going to win going into the game without Conley. I didn't think they were going to win as I was watching the game throughout the first half. Even in the fourth quarter, when the Clippers started turning it on, I thought, okay, here we go. I didn't think they were going to win then, but they did win. And if you take Donovan Mitchell off that team, let's face it, you could even replace him with another all-star. That's not the Utah Jazz. No one's fearing them.
Max, if Paul George would have shot at least 40% from the field last night, they would have won. You know what I did? I watched Paul George last night, and he ran from the moment, okay? Not only was he not available for the Clippers offensively, but he didn't take no type of pride of ownership to guard Donovan Mitchell. If you're not producing on the offensive end, the least you could do if you're quote-unquote one of the best two-way players in the game today is go take on the responsibility and try to cool off a red-hot Donovan Mitchell instead of leaving Rajon Rondo and Luke Kennard on them. All I'm saying is this, Max. The Clippers are the favorite right now if you look at all the teams in the Western Conference. I'm not taking anything from Donovan Mitchell. This kid is special, beyond special, a superstar. But right now, with the Lakers being out, and in the position that the Clippers are in, and all the stuff that's surrounding the Clippers, all the expectations that they have, Paul George has to elevate his game and help Kawhi.
He did in the fourth quarter.
This is more about Paul George.
He showed. Look, I hear you. He